we kind of, as children, require our parents for survival. We require them to be happy with us in a way for our continued growth and expansion and survival on the planet. The thing is, we don't need that now, but so many of us are still looking for other people's approval instead of like, oh, what really is true here, or what's true for me. We'd often rather go along with what they want, so we have their approval, so we have their validation, so instead of like, oh, well, if I tap into it, what's going to create greater for all of us? And that's available too. So that's a lovely question, to keep in your toolbox with your intuition. Like, oh, what could we choose that would be the highest outcome for all of us? So asking questions, sitting with those questions, journaling those in the morning. The ego, I think it's really useful to just have a little look at like the ego versus intuitive voice, right? The ego's voice is that one that wants security, wants other people's approval. And even that idea of want indicates lack. Spirit knows no lack. Your intuitive voice doesn't know lack. It doesn't know an urgency of like, oh, well, your well-being depends on this choice, right? Even if it's a warning signal or a act now, there's a sense of like, there's a sense of calm about it, even if it's, I must act now, I must do this now. Whereas the ego's voice has more of a like, oh no, I must make the right decision because my entire future depends on this, and like this sense of fear about it. Spirit's voice has no fear. It may be get out of the way, right? Don't stand in the road. It may be don't go down that road, right? But there's not a sense of fear. It's a sense of support, if that makes sense. So one thing you can start to do is start to look back on your life and play with, okay, when are instances where I really know it was intuition that was guiding me? And when are instances where I kind of maybe got confused and thought it was my ego? Or when was it my intuition and I got derailed?